Welcome to meeting number 6 of the Senate Standing Committee on Judiciary. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Berg. Senator Carroll.
Here.
Senator Deneen. Senator Neal. Senator Schickel.
Here.
Senator Stivers. Senator Storm.
Here.
Senator Turner.
Here.
Vice Chair Wheeler. Here. Chair Westerfield.
Here. Seeing that we have a... Wait a second. Do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay. We have a quorum. We're authorized to do business. We're going to jump right in. Is Senator Elkins here? Come on up. We're going to go a little bit out of order, folks, just to accommodate schedules. I know everybody understands that, so I'm going to try to get us through here as quickly as we can. Senator Elkins, you've got a complete stranger to your right, former vice chair and colleague and friend of this body, former Senator Will Schroeder, now senior counsel with the AG's office. And another guest to your left. You have the floor, Senator. Senate Bill 376.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning. Good morning to the committee. I am Senator Greg Elkins, Senator for the 28th Senate District, and I will allow my guests to introduce themselves.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Good to see you all today. As said, Will Schroeder, Senior Counsel for the Office of Attorney General.
Good morning, Stacy Woodrum, Office of Administrative Services.
And we are here this morning, Mr. Chair, to present to you Senate Bill 376. It is a bill that amends KRS 15.010. It simply does some restructuring work for
Motion on the bill.
Office of the Attorney General.
Your impassioned testimony was compelling and convincing, Senator.
I'm getting better at this.
We have a motion from Senator Wheeler and a second, I think, from Senator Schickel. I don't want to interrupt you. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, worries, thoughts? All right. We've got a motion and a second. Do you want to say anything else?
I'm good. I've learned very quickly, once you get a motion and a second, be quiet.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Berg. Aye. Senator Carroll.
Aye.
Senator Deneen.
Aye.
Senator Neal. Senator Schickel. Senator Stivers. Senator Storm.
Aye.
Senator Turner. Aye. Senator Wheeler.
Aye.
Chair Westerfield.
Aye. Bill passes with favorable expression.
Motion for consent.
On a vote 8-0. And I will entertain the motion and a second from Senator Wheeler and Senator Schickel once again to place the matter on consent. All those in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the committee. I appreciate your time.
Mr. Schroeder, good to see you. Senior Counsel Schroeder. All right. Is Denise? There she is. Senator Denise Harper Angel, come on up. Senate Bill 319, an act relating to victims of crime. And Ms. Wycliffe is going to join. Anybody else? Senator, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Good morning to the members of the chamber or the committee. And Senator from Pikeville, I could do a ditto on what you just did and be happy about it.
Motion from the chair.
This is the second year that I've had the opportunity to facilitate a working group of victims, advocates, hospitals, and the Crime Victims Compensation Board. This is Senate Bill 319. Last year we came to the committee and passed some statutory cleanup language and made some small increases in the statutory caps for damages. This year we're back to propose further adjustments to the statutory boards and additional changes to simplify board procedures and reimbursement for victims of their out-of-pocket expenses. And since the Judiciary has heard this bill in the
Motion
interim...
on the bill.
Second.
A motion from Senator Wheeler, a second from Senator Deneen. I think that's correct.
Correct.
I don't want to interrupt you. Anybody have any questions about the bill? It is something... Sorry, y'all, my mic wasn't on. It is something the committee's heard before.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? You wish to proceed with your testimony, or would you like to have the vote?
I will have the vote, and thank you very much.
Mr. Secretary, would you please?
Senator Berg. Aye. Senator Carroll.
Aye.
Senator Deneen.
Aye.
Senator Neal. Senator Schickel.
Aye.
Senator Stivers. Senator Storm, Senator Turner, Senator Wheeler,
Aye.
Chair Westerfield.
Aye. Bill passes with favorable expression. Is there a motion for consent here? Motion made by Senator
Second.
Carroll, second from Senator Wheeler. All those in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It's on consent because it was unanimous, but if you'd like us to pull it off, we can do that at the time so you can have that opportunity on the floor.
Thank you, sir. I'm fine with your decision.
All right. Congratulations. Bill passes with favorable expression and shall be on consent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Thank you, Senator. And I just want to commend you, Senator. This has been the issue that you have made the centerpiece of your service in the state legislature. And you should be commended for it, not just by this committee, but by the entire Senate, by the House, by the people of Kentucky. The victims of Kentucky owe you more than they owe anybody else for the protections they have. The women in domestic violence relationships or in domestic violence situations, victims of sexual assault, you've been a leader on these issues, and you deserve our thanks and certainly the thanks of the people of Kentucky. Thank you for this work. Thank you for this bill. Thank you for all you've done over your time here.
Thank you so much.
All right. Representative Blanton, I saw you. There you are. Come on up. House Bill 87, an act relating to adoption records. I'm going to let Representative Blanton have the floor here and talk about his language. There is a committee substitute that,
Motion on the sub.
thank you. All those in favor of adopting the sub, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? A sub is before us. It makes a change for accessing adoption records for adoptees, but I wanted to let the representative explain his change. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. John Blanton in the 92nd District. Thank you, members of the committee, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to hear this bill today. This is a very simple adoption bill that will allow, if someone was adopted and they are deceased and the original parents that gave up for adoption are deceased, it allows a surviving child or sibling to file with the courts to unseal those adoption records. Now, it gives permissive language. The courts may, if they believe it necessary. We live in a time when technology is continually improving, and we know sometimes knowing our family histories can help us with medical issues. And so this just gives permissive language if that situation occurs.
Second.
Thank you, Representative. We got a motion from Senator Schickel and a second from Senator Turner, it sounded like. Anybody have any questions of the senator or of the representative? Seeing none. We got a motion and a second on the bill as amended by the sub. Mr. Secretary.
Senator Berg, Senator Carroll,
Aye.
Senator Deneen,
Aye.
Senator Neal, Senator Schickel,
Aye.
Senator Stivers, Senator Storm,
Aye.
Senator Turner, Senator Wheeler,
Aye.
Chair Westerfield.
Aye. Bill passes with
Motion for
favorable
consent.
expression. Do you want it to be on consent?
Yes, please.
We've got a motion from Senator Wheeler and a second from the chair. All those in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It shall be on consent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Representative.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. All right, Representative Moser, come on down. House Bill 194, an act relating to workplace violence against healthcare. Anyone coming up with you? Is this Mr. Musser? Yes. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention who was walking up. I was just looking at the
No
list.
worries.
Come on up. All right. You have the
Okay.
floor, Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the committee. I appreciate your attention to this important issue. House Bill 194 is a bill that passed the House Health Services Committee unanimously and the House floor as well. It's been noted for many, many years that there is an escalation in violence against healthcare workers. We have seen many pieces of legislation come across our desks dealing with this over the past years, and certainly as I think it's critically important that we continue to look at ways to protect our healthcare workers. We are seeing our healthcare workforce.
Motion on the bill.
Thank you.
Got a motion from Senator Wheeler and a second from Senator Schickel. Any questions? Yes, Senator Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to bring up, we have another piece of legislation that's going to be coming through, and it's related to juveniles that are justice involved, who are mentally ill, and their treatment related to mental health hospitals. And this is going to be a significant piece to ensure that that piece of legislation works, and that kids who are justice involved, who are mentally ill and violent, they're going to be able to get the treatment that they need in the proper setting. And it's going to resolve a serious issue that we've had in our Commonwealth over several years. So thank you for bringing this legislation, and you're helping more than you realize with this, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, wait, we've got a motion in a second. All right. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Berg,
Explain my I vote.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you. I mean, there has been, unfortunately, an explosion of violence, and it does occur in all healthcare settings. So thank you, and yes.
Senator Carroll,
Aye.
Senator Deneen, Senator Neal,
I would like to explain my I vote
Yes, sir.
just in time to make it. Thank you.
Best explanation we'll hear all day.
Senator Schickel, Senator Stivers, Senator Storm,
Explain my yes vote.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for working on this legislation. One of my concerns is just last year we were asked to do this, and it was for ERs, and now we're asking to extend that to health clinics, doctor's offices, dental offices, all these other facilities. Right. And I understand the concept behind that, but my concern is how far are we going to go? We're going to continue going and going and going is the first issue. The second issue I have is this extends to independent contractors who, in a liability setting, they're not employees of the hospital, correct?
They are contracted with the hospital, and so these would be visiting nurses or locum tenens, someone who comes in to provide a service in the hospital. So they would have to be employed by the hospital. It wouldn't extend outside of the hospital setting.
So my concern is if there's negligence or malpractice that's committed by that individual, they're immune from being, the hospital's immune because they're not employed by the hospital, but this extends this protection to them criminally. So that's just my issues. I am going to vote yes today, but those are my thoughts. Thank you.
I'm happy to look at that. I don't know that it extends liability protections, but I'm happy to have that discussion.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Turner,
Explain my I vote.
Yes.
I have some of the same concerns my good friend does, Mr. Chairman, and because at the beginning of it, it talks about causes or attempts to cause. So that's wide open terminology, and the premises means parking lots, and just the language of attempt can be verbal. So it's. I would like also for you to consider some of that, if you would. But I'm voting aye.
Senator Wheeler,
Aye.
Chair Westerfield.
Aye. Bill passes with favorable expression, I think unanimously, 9-0. Got a motion for consent, but I'll entertain a second. We can put it on a consent with the understanding that might not last.
Okay.
I'll make the second. All those in favor, putting it on the consent calendar, at least for now, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. It's there for now.
Okay.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Representative. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Musser. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. They didn't note. All right. Senate Bill 347, the last bill on our agenda today, is my bill. Folks, 2 years ago, we passed Senate Bill 90. It's a pilot program, and actually, I'm going to put Director Comstock or Jason on the spot. Can you come up and say where those 11 pilots are right now? Can somebody just, see, you were small and hid behind the others, so I didn't get to name you. Please share for the committee who you are. And then tell us where those 11 pilots are.
I am Angie Darcy, and I am the executive officer with the Department of Pretrial Services. We have our 11 pilot counties. I'm just going to read them off because
Yes, ma'am.
it is Letcher County, Madison, Pulaski, Hopkins, Christian, Oldham, McCracken, and then we have Kenton and Davis County as well. I think that I am missing one. I was reading it and I didn't get very far.
I did put you on the spot. I
You
just
did.
wanted to make sure, because members who may not have recalled or weren't here for the November report on the Senate Bill 90 implementation may not have been aware where those pilots were.
I think we also have, I don't think I said Oldham or.
You did.
I did?
You did.
See, then there you go.
Okay, Senate Bill 347 makes two very small technical edits. It changes the definition of who a behavior, or expands the definition of the qualified mental health professional. And this was a request from the implementation group, which our Office of Drug Control Policy Director Ingram chairs. He's not with us today. It just expands the list of the professionals that can meet that definition for the purposes of this bill. And then it eliminates or strikes the word misdemeanor. You can be qualified for the program under certain circumstances or with certain charges, but there are disqualifying offenses in your history, and this eliminates prior misdemeanors. If you still have a prior disqualifying felony, that's still in there, but it eliminates the disqualifying misdemeanor, which should open it up for additional participants. I'll remind members, nothing in here changes the fact that the prosecutors have to agree to let someone participate, and so does the defense. So that's the change. Anybody have any questions of me? Got a motion from Senator Byrd, second from the sponsor and the chairman. Any questions about those changes? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Berg. Senator Carroll.
Aye.
Senator Deneen. Senator Neal. Senator Schickel.
No, and I'd like to explain my vote.
Yes.
Thank you. I voted no on Senate Bill 90 because I won't get into all the reasons, but I thought it was bad legislation, and be consistent. This just furthers that program along even more.
Senator Stivers. Senator Storm.
Aye.
Senator Turner. Senator Wheeler. Chair Westerfield.
Aye. Bill passes with a favorable expression on an 8-1 vote. All right. That concludes our business. Anybody have any? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on before we adjourn. Senator Neal does want to record some votes. Was it not? Senator Neal, how do you vote, sir?
I vote aye. And on them others, you vote aye too, though.
It's marked down now. All right. Do you want to record vote on Senate Bill 319? Hit your mic, Senator, if you don't mind, real quick.
I'd like to, for the record, to reflect that I voted aye on the following bills: Senate Bill 319, Senate Bill 376, and House Bill 87.
Thank you. Were you here for 194 already?
Yeah. Just to make sure, let's put 194 in there as well.
Yeah, Matt just confirmed. Thank you, Senator. Anybody else need to record a vote that I missed? All right. Anybody have any guests we can recognize since we're done a little earlier than expected?
Very
Okay.
glad to see my old constituent Angie Darcy in the audience there. So,
Who was
see-
very quick on her feet to come up and without any warning testify quickly. So thank you, Angie. I appreciate it. All right, members, we are adjourned.